Hi everyone. Tip number 4 on how to improve your immune system. I was doing some research today for a client and stumbled across an interesting fact about the immune system. And yesterday I talked about stress, and we typically look at stress as sort of one component. But there's also another component of stress that I think that we don't, or I guess an emotional component that we don't take into consideration. And the research that I came across today talked about attitude. And so we look at stress, but we don't always consider our attitude with respect to things. And it was interesting because when I was reading this, it talked about how important our overall attitude is and how that can affect our immune system. So when you think about it, attitude, yes, will have a very big impact overall on our immune system. If our attitude's not good, we might be thinking, oh, I'm just going to, eat this sugary food because I'm just, I'm in a bad mood, or I'm just feeling down. Um, Also people with a negative attitude, I've found actually people with negative attitudes sometimes do get sick more often. And I know of specific people that I that I know, friends, that yeah, their attitude isn't as good, and they do get sick more often. Now, who knows, maybe it's not directly related to their attitude, but I think that has a big part to do with it. Also, I think when we have a bad attitude about something, or just, our attitude isn't as positive, and I'm not saying that you have to be, everything's wonderful and happy and, amazing and my life is incredible. That's not what I mean. It's when, you get into that really negative cycle, and, it just takes you on that spiral downward. Trust me, I get into that myself every now and then, especially with some of the things that I've been dealing with over the last year. When we're not sleeping properly, when we're not eating properly, that can really affect our attitude. So taking that a step further, when our attitude's not great and we're not eating properly, that affects our digestive system. Very big part of our immune system is in our digestive system. They say 80 to 90% of our immune system is started in our digestive system. So you can see how, a less positive attitude can start to relate as to how it starts to connect to our immune system and how we treat ourselves, or the choices we make, the things that we do. When we have a poor attitude, we might think about, oh, I can't sleep. I'm not feeling good. I'm going to binge on Netflix, and I'm going to watch Netflix for the next couple of hours. And then it ends up, oh, one more. And before you know it, it's 1 a.m. and you're still not in bed. And as my very first tip was, getting proper sleep. So our attitude does have a direct correlation to our immune system because it relates to so many things, the choices that we make, the things that we do. Funny story, years ago, I was getting a filling replaced on one of my molars. And when the dentist took a look at it, and it was a original filling from, I think, when I was like a child. And the dentist looked at it and he said, I think you're going to need a root canal on this. So the crown that I'm putting on, I'm going to put it on temporarily. And he said, I'm going to send you to a root canal specialist to take a look at it, but I think that at some point it's going to need one. And I said, nope, no way. Not having a root canal. I'm just going to tell my body it does not need a root canal, that it can heal that area on its own. And you might think that that's kind of airy-fairy or woo-woo, whatever. Went to see the root canal specialist, and he's like, well, 50-50 chance. Let's monitor it. And I said, no, I'm not having a root canal. It's not going to happen. That was back in end of 2012, 2013, We're now here in 2020, so at least 7 years later, no root canal. The tooth does not bother me. It's still alive. There are no issues with it. And I just kept saying to myself, it's not going to happen. My body can heal it naturally. My body knows what to do. So again, you can take that however you want, but I truly believe that our attitude really helps our overall body and our immune system. So that's my tip for today. Again, I'm not saying that you have to be all happy and, cheerful. No, we all go through cycles, but keeping check of our attitude and the choices that we're making when our attitude's not the best for whatever reason, we're stressed, we're tired, we've got emotional things that are coming at us, whatever it might be. It's just good to check ourselves, the choices that we're making. So again, if you've got any questions or comments, please send me a message. I am really enjoying doing this series, and I have so much, like even the research I was doing today, there are so many things that I want to share with you. And as you can see, I haven't even talked about supplementation or any of those types of things. I'm just like really on the tip of the iceberg at this point. So stay tuned for tip number 5 tomorrow. And I honestly don't know what tip I'm going to talk about because I have a whole long list of tips that I do want to share. So yeah, it's going to take me a while to go through this whole series. Anyway, hope you had a great day, and thank you for watching.